Welcome to episode 63 of the Travel Talk Show. As you can see, we only have half the team. We have a blue screen, so I'm sure my brother's going to have a fix on that. But for now, you get all me. Woo! A part of ehCanada Travel Show is a part of ehCanadaTravel.com and also a product of the ehTravel Marketing Group. We would like to make a special announcement on this show. Colin and I had a little heart-to-heart with Smokey the Bear. Yep. And we are asking all the public to please be fire smart in these trying times as we're experiencing these forest fires throughout Western Canada, and the smoke is affecting Northern Canada and all the way as Eastern Canada. What we're asking our viewers to do is star 555. If you do see a fire, if you see anything of a fire, please let's all be fire smart. Adventure tourism and recreation here in Canada relies on the protection of our wilderness areas. So again, let's welcome to the show the often awesomeness Colin Gerard, who is right here. Now he's not, and now he is. Look at that. There we go. Now
starting off with a good blooper.
Yeah. So I just Colin before you decided to leave me solo. We were just
talking it solo.
I know. I'm okay with it. If you do, we were just talking about the fire smart for everyone to keep an eye out for fires. You got something you want to say on that?
Yeah, be safe out there. I mean, everything's super dry, and if you go out in the woods, be careful and watch where you're walking. Make sure you don't start anything, because it's gets started by not much these days.
Yep. So, welcome to the Adventure Seeker Trilogy. Yes, I said trilogy. Tonight is part 2 of 3 of the adventure story about 3 celebrated maple leaf wearing Canadian explorers on the ehTravel Talk Show. As you might not know her, but I follow a lot of quotes and I do quite a bit of reading when I do in the morning. And Rachel Wolchin once said, if we were meant to stay in one place there, Junior, we'd all have roots instead of feet. I could tell you right now, these 3 guests, their feet are moving in a big way. And they're sharing a lot of that on this Adventure Seeker program. I'm pretty excited about it. We will be talking best adventure destinations, bucket list items, travel memories, road tripping, some travel tips, and the Adventure Seeker Club of Canada tonight with Andrea Horning, who is a 4-season adventurer, Megan Kopp, Southern Alberta explorer, and Miss Tourism World Canada, Samantha Sewell, will be joining us tonight. In case you are new and you have been living under a rock, the Adventure Seeker Club of Canada is a select group of travelers who are exploring the country for great adventures, resulting in creating authentic, real-time stories. So to share with Canadians and travelers on the ehCanadaTravel.com authentic sharing website and social media. The Adventure Seeker Club of Canada membership includes monthly fireside chats where we're all going to share some skills. We're going to share some trends, analytics, talk adventures, and we get to meet with these fine people. Moi and Junior, we get to meet with them too every month. And this group, we get to hang out, we get to talk, we get to share, we get to get all excited about adventuring and being Canadian and taking in this beautiful country of ours. What do you think there, Junior? We got a pretty good group going, right?
Well, I'm pretty excited about the whole situation here. Yeah.
Excellent.
Lots of great people from all over, different backgrounds, different passions.
Yep. And it's pretty fun. I mean, I'm pretty motivated and I'm pretty excited to talk to these people because it's pretty cool to hang out with a group of like-minded people that all love to do basically the same thing, but we each have our own little niche. And that's what we're going to talk a little bit about tonight. Well, in February of next year, we'll be having another period where we'll be welcoming more adventure seekers to the team. But this group is the group that's going to be starting this all off. In the meantime, if you are excited about this opportunity, you can sign up for free as a travel influencer It's a good way to get your feet wet. It's a good way to start sharing stories. And then it also is sure impressive when you do apply to become Adventure Seeker. These travel and adventure stories on ehCanadaTravel.com are all created by seekers, including Colin and I. We're considered seekers as well. Sort of how we've come about the name is when we take our time to go boonie bashing, adventure hunting, and activity trapping. We're looking at going out there, and we're pretty excited about it. We all take great pride in sharing real boots on the ground experiences. There's no spin, no BS, no corporate speak, no tourism politics. No, this is all about real people sharing real ventures as it happens in real time with real excitement. We call it, drum roll please, we call it people tourism. It's the Canadians who are telling our story. We don't need no suit and ties telling our story. We need Canadians, boots on the ground, real people living in real communities doing real things. And that's what this is all about. So I'm pretty proud of this people. So let's make sure. How do we make sure we can bring you this quality, high-paying show? Is that we beam it down from our Maple Leaf signal. We have invested with our Canadian Tire money into developing our big technology Kopp satellite. Yes, it took our Canadian Tire savings to put this satellite in space. Jeff Bezos is nothing on our technology because we use Canadian Tire money. Our duct tape sponsor, Gorilla Glue endorsed satellite, enables us to broadcast the A Travel Talk Show every Tuesday at 7 p.m. TST right here on Facebook and YouTube Live. No expenses are shared here. Hey, Call, you gotta love that Canadian Tire money. I knew it would come in handy.
That was a pretty big stack of 5 centers we had to get that satellite going.
I know.
I mean, just it's nuts.
We use Canadian Tire. We use Canadian Tire to put out our signal, Junior. And when we're all a little bit more wealthier, maybe we'll use some money instead of going into space to help the homeless issue, to help in poverty issue, and maybe to help some fresh water for all Canadians. I think that's where I'd put my millions. That's just me, though. Just me. That ain't no Jeff Bezos, but I'm just saying.
Yeah,
I'm
with you there, bro. I mean, we very fraction of the budget that Jeff took, and we got a satellite up there. So
I know. Gorillas. we did it with Canadian Tire money. So there.
That slingshot worked pretty good.
Woo! I love our launching pad. That huge slingshot that worked great.
Yeah.
That's what we're good at. Guerrilla marketing and guerrilla tactics. We figured it all out. So anyways, my name is Greg Gerard. If you haven't figured that one out, I'm the Cobro adventure seeking brother. Beside me, the good looking one is Colin Gerard. We are the Brothers of Tourism. Name proudly adopted by us from our clients who keep saying we're the Brothers of Tourism. We said, hey, that sticks. I'll keep it. You're Maple Leaf wearing host of the A Travel Talk Show. That would be us, and that is Colin, and I am Greg. We are the award. What do you have to say, Cole?
What was that? I was just saying yes.
Oh, okay.
With enthusiasm. Yes.
I love it when there's a crowd. It's just amazing. The cheers and all the ahs. You're great.
Oh, yeah.
We're recent award winners of the Best Canadian Adventure Planning Website 2021 Lex Life Tourism Awards. We were ranked top 1,000 global travel blogger by Global Rise. We're a top 100 global influencer as of January 2021 by Cloud Power. And we were awarded the Best Community Marketing Program in Canada and British Columbia by Canada Procedure Awards and BC Economic Development Association. That's this year. We got big things planned. We sort of like the way things are going, and we're sure liking some of the people we get to hang out with. We're pretty lucky that way that we could surround ourselves with some pretty quality people. But tonight, we're talking with adventure seekers. We're talking with fishing enthusiast Andrea Horning, canoe voyageur and hiking specialist Megan Kopp, and tourism pageant queen Samantha Sewell are our guests today, and we're pretty excited to have them. But before we bring our guests on the show, I get to do the most enjoyable part of the show. I get to send my brother into the green room.
Oh, no.
I know.
I refuse. What if I hold on?
Yeah, well, I have the power. We have the technology. So using my best radio voice, I'd like to thank Colin for joining us. He will be back on the show in a bit, but priorities are priorities, and our guests are more important than my brother at this point in time. So we will be bringing him back. Love him to death. Love you to death, bro, but enjoy that room. There's Atlantic lobster in our virtual green room, And you know what else is there? That no big jug that says "Don't touch" on it.
I'll be heading straight for the Screech.
That's the one. There you go. Okay, Junior. Thanks
I'm all
a lot.
depressed now. Bye.
Yeah, bye. So we're very lucky right now. What we're going to do is we'll bring on our guests one by one onto our show, and we'll welcome them as we bring them all on here. And as they come, and here they come. Voila. Welcome to the show, Samantha, Megan, and Andrea. How are you all doing?
Great.
Excellent. Good to have you. So you guys, it's a pleasure to have you all here. Very honored that you could spend some time with us and our followers and our viewers. And we'd like to tell everyone before we get the show on the road, a lot of you are the newbies to this talk show, the ehTravel talk show. So if you have some questions that you'd like to ask our guests, Samantha, Andrea, and Megan, by all means, write them down, put them in the chat room there below. And I am going to do our best to get at them at the end of the show. Keep it clean, no dirt. All good, honest, good. This is a family show, so we want to make sure that we keep it that way. You guys, you three seekers of Canada, you all have a unique adventure personalities. I've had the pleasure of hearing your stories. I've had the pleasure of getting to know you each individually, some longer than others. Let's call it, I'm going to call it, you guys all have your own superpower. So please take a few moments to introduce yourselves to our viewers, and maybe let's start the show off with Andrea. Why don't you give us a little brief rundown of who Andrea Horning is?
Okay, well, hi, I'm Andrea. I'm originally from Ontario. I grew up with the Bruce Trail in my backyard and not too far from Niagara Falls. Spent a lot of time in cottage country up in the Kawarthas, which is where I developed my love for fishing. I've traveled all over Canada fishing. Bucket list thing of mine is to have a license from every province and territory. I've probably got half now. I moved out to Saskatchewan, did some exploring there for a bit. Now I'm currently out in Calgary. I'm a new mom, so some of my adventures are changing a little bit, a little more kid-friendly. And yeah, if I can find a waterfall anywhere I go, I definitely try to get those, as many as I can. I can't even count how many I've found now, but that's me.
Unbelievable. And you had to hit me in my sweet spot, didn't you? Waterfalling. You had to go there. You just had to go there. You couldn't even go halfway through the show.
Nope.
Megan, why don't you give us a little brief rundown? Welcome to the show. And by the way, and give us a little story about who Megan Kopp is, please.
Well, hello, everyone. My name is Megan Kopp, and I am a freelance writer, blogger who's been seeking outdoor adventure for most of my life. I love living in the mountains, being in the mountains, playing in the mountains, hiking, biking, canoeing, exploring and writing about adventures and trying to excite others to get out there and do the same thing. That's what I like to do. I was born in British Columbia, and my parents never really traveled much, but they loved to move a lot. So I have lived in the Northwest Territories several times and all through BC. And I think that sparked a desire to travel and see other things. And that's about me. And I'm married to kind of my superpower. His name is Brad, and he's the one who is my gear guru and great planner. And he goes along on the adventures that I say, let's go do this, and he does it.
I like it. It sounds like a pretty good lifestyle you got going down there, Megan.
It's pretty great.
Excellent. Congratulations. Samantha, give us a little rundown of who is this Samantha Sewell?
Hello, I'm Samantha Sewell. I'm a 22-year-old from Vernon, British Columbia. My day job is a preschool teacher at Little Miracles Preschool. However, I'm also Miss Tourism World Canada. This year's Miss Tourism World Canada, if you don't know my story, I was born with a severe speech impediment called apraxia. I was told I would never be able to speak, I would never be able to communicate, I would never be able to succeed. So because of this, a lot of my life has been challenging, including travel and tourism. So as Miss Tourism World Canada, I've really made it my goal to go out and promote inclusive tourism and make sure everybody knows that tourism is for everybody. It doesn't matter what disability you have, what ability you have, tourism is for all of us. I have been in, since my last show with you guys, the number has changed. I've now been in 37 different magazines. I've been in 3 different books. And this coming December, I'm actually having a billboard in Times Square, just over Broadway.
Wow, that's impressive. That's impressive. I am so proud of you, and I'm so privileged that we've had the opportunity to spend some time online. And I'm really excited about this coming out Wednesday. Well, Samantha will be visiting a community that I've been working with, Merritt, British Columbia, and she is going to be giving a 2-day whirlwind tour. And we've set her up on some horseback riding adventures just to kick it off with a wham, bam, thank you, and go get them. Go get them, Samantha. I'm pretty excited about that trip.
So am I. Very excited.
Excellent. So, ladies, we've got a whole bunch of people here saying hello, you guys. One saying you look beautiful, amazing, Samantha. We all look very beautiful. Andrea, they're loving the third party to our interview, the birds. Got a whole bunch of stuff going on, so good on you guys. So the second, let's go into this. The Adventure Seeker Club of Canada is a special group of explorers who meet monthly to create authentic stories. That's the real thing that gets me excited, is the real stories are real current, and we get to talk adventures and share some new skill sets, follow the trends. We're all keeping educated and working with each other. You will be sharing your skills and educating travelers around the world for the many adventures here in Canada firsthand. We call it, as we said earlier, people tourism, real tourism. My question is this: what attracted you to apply? What was the big, what got your attention to when you saw the notices go out to become an Adventure Seeker of Canada? Why don't you start, Samantha?
Well, for me, I was already on the community forum when it was very newish, and I realized really fast that it was an important platform for me with my platform of inclusive tourism. This year, as Miss Tourism World Canada, it's been really hard because my job is to be a tourism ambassador for Canada, but you can't travel anywhere. So I started doing videos called Supporting Local Tourism, and honestly, Greg, you hit me up and told me about the Adventure Seekers Club, and I got really excited for it, and I thought it was an amazing way to reach people about the importance of inclusive tourism and the importance of supporting local tourism, as well as going somewhere to support tourism.
Excellent. Excellent. Megan, how about what do you think about the whole process? What caught your eye?
I think for me, I just moved down to the Crow's Nest Pass, which is a brand new area for me to explore. And I'm excited by the opportunity to be able to share it with everyone else out there and get them excited to explore this little patch of Alberta that a lot of people just drive through on Highway 3 and they don't realize, oh, there's a good place to go biking over here, or there's a great waterfall up here for the kids, or there's a nice place to go and enjoy some of the history. So for me, it was the chance to be able to share my experience as I adventure in this new place.
Excellent, excellent. And how about you, Andrea? We've got a little bit of a longer relationship than most here. We've known each other for quite some time, but why don't you give us a little rundown on what you think?
Well, like you said, I've known you for quite a while now. I've been active on the site and pop in here and there and kind of keep up with what you guys have been doing. So when I saw you had this Adventure Seeker thing, I thought it kind of fit the bill for everything I do anyways on a daily basis. 1 second. The ability to be involved in a group of like-minded people that are sharing real-time adventures, the ability to share all these little hidden gems that Canada has with everybody on a broader scale. I just thought it was kind of the perfect little addition to my adventurous little lifestyle anyways.
Excellent. Excellent. Good stuff, guys. I'm getting adventurous already. I can't wait to hit the road so I can share some stuff with you guys. My turn. So why, in your opinion, is like, we all know how tourism works out there. A lot of it, we look at the other sites and it's a little bit of a different approach than what we're sort of trying to get. What we're really trying to give more of a real story of Canada from real people and give that connection. So if this is sort of the sharing the real-time authentic concept experiences and presenting it in a positive manner is so important for the traveler, Canadian tourism. Why do you think that's approach is working? Why do you think it's resonating? Why do you think it's something that we should pursue more in our industry? Megan, why don't you start us off?
I think because it's organic and not canned, and it's fresh and it's live and it's real. And I think that people are looking for that connection. And things change so quickly in this world of ours these days that it's nice to have what's current. And I think that's why.
Okay, excellent. Andrea?
Well, exactly that. Things change so quickly. Forest fires, floods, COVID changing businesses. Places I stayed last summer that I was hoping to go back to this year aren't around anymore. So having something real time and live is going to keep people up to date and in the right circle and the right scoop. And you're not going to plan a trip and get there and find out, oh, I can't do this now. And I think it's going to open a lot of doors and opportunities for people to share their own stories and contribute.
Yeah, I think you hit it on the head. One point there. I know when in the last between COVID 1 and COVID 2, they had a little opening for adventure travel. We booted off to the Yukon, and that's our third visit up there because we love it up there. And I couldn't believe, basically, if you weren't in Whitehorse or Dawson City, there wasn't anything open at any of the smaller communities. Everything was boarded up. Gas stations that used to be there were no longer operating. Corner store, the general store that feeds the whole communities wasn't opened anymore. It is a different landscape out there, and I think we're all doing very important work in that respect. How about you, Samantha?
I think the same. I think two reasons. I think one reason is that things change all the time. You may be expecting something to look one way or be one way, but things like the owners have changed or the colors even have changed. There's so much that can change and it can really throw you off. So I think going on the website and really seeing what it looks like in live time, what it looked like yesterday or 2 weeks ago versus what it looked like 2 years ago can be significantly different. The other is that it's real by authentic people. Thinking about the disability community as an individual who struggles with communication, and some days I have really hard days, it was really hard to speak. I like to go on and truly see people's experiences so I know what to expect. And for instance, my videos, you can actually see how they communicate and how they respect or sadly possibly disrespect individuals with disabilities. So you have a real idea of how they're going to treat you, what you need, and different services that may or may not be available at the location.
Yeah. And this tourism that you're supporting, inclusive tourism, are you feeling that you're gaining some headway?
I am. It's been really difficult starting because none of the airports will get back to me because they're in what they call as emergency mode, I believe is what they call it. So they're not answering emails. So I decided to target other businesses, as simple as telling them like, oh, you should put a ramp out or have an option for a removable ramp, or how are you going to approach someone who is deaf or hard of hearing or someone who can't speak. So just introducing those. For instance, Planet B was probably one of the best places I've been. They heard my accent. They were really nice. And they knew what deaf was in sign language. And they just looked at me and were like, are you deaf? And I said, no. Do you need a pen and paper? So these businesses have actually been able to see my videos and adjust and learn. We need to have a pen and paper on site. We need to know maybe basic sign language. If we don't know basic sign language, can we communicate with gestures? So I really do believe I'm making headway.
Yeah. I still don't get it because all I'm hearing is a New York accent. I said this to you before. I think it's just a really cool New York accent. You all understand the benefits of adventuring, or else you wouldn't be here. You each have an adventure past, and you all have an adventure future. You all have got your bucket list, your sort of wishful thinking list. What adventure in Canada has left, and this is different than the bucket list, so I'm gonna make sure we generate with that. But what adventure has left the biggest impression on you, and why? What was it about it that sort of changed direction, or the way you're thinking, or the way you feel? How about you, Andrea? Why don't you give us that adventure memory that really shook your world?
Well, there'd be a few of them, but I guess I would probably have to say when I got to go work at the fishing lodge in the Northwest Territories. I always kind of thought that I wanted to have my own lodge, and I figured maybe I'd wait till I'm older to do something like that. And given the opportunity to go up to Hay River and then take the float plane over the Great Slave Lake and Mackenzie River, and the fishing there was amazing, and being able to actually sit and talk to the owners and get like real information, like how it was for them and how old they were, and they told me not to wait, to do it as soon as I can, and
Yeah.
just being able to live that experience just really cemented that that is actually something I would love to do. So I think that'd
Yeah.
probably be my biggest one.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that story when I was pretty close to just at you. You just got back pretty much when we first met,
Yeah.
and yeah, you were telling me all those stories, and I was almost drooling. I think it was, but I've experienced it, but not the way you tell it. You tell it a lot more personal than I got to go into there. How about you, Megan? What do you got to what do you sort of what was that impression adventure?
Yeah, I have to agree with Andrea. This was a really, really hard one to narrow down to one thing. There's been so many episodes that you go, oh, this is the one. But when I would look back on it and I thought about it, I think it started when I was 14 and I got a chance to work for parks for one summer on with a group of other teenage girls. And we went to this camp at Mount Robson and we built trails, we cleared trails, we cleaned washrooms, we got to hike in this beautiful country and learn about how to pack a backpack without things scattered all over the place, and how to be in a natural environment and enjoy it and appreciate it. And that experience never left me. And I think that opened a love for being in nature and wanting to do outdoor adventurous kind of things. And I ended up working in parks, Alberta parks, for over 13 years, doing interpretation and looking at the natural history and cultural history of the area. So yeah, that's the one thing I think that sparked my journey.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty safe saying this, Megan, but 13 years after that experience working for the parks, I think it had a little bit of influence on you.
Yeah, a little bit.
That's a beautiful story. Samantha, how about yourself?
I agree with them. It was so hard to narrow this down, but when I was thinking about it, I think it would be all the visits I've done to historic O'Keefe Ranch. Which is, if you don't know what O'Keefe Ranch is, it was like the first settlement of Vernon, British Columbia. I actually lived just up the road from it. And I remember like the first time I went there was in grade 3 for a field trip. And we all dressed up in like the Victorian era costumes. And it really, no matter how you don't have to dress up to feel like you've gone back in time there. It's a magical place to be, and you can go time and time again. I remember the first time we had a picnic, we all dressed up and were told all the stories and going through. They have the mansion, which always made me laugh as a child because it's considered a small house nowadays. The schoolhouse, they have a general store where you actually buy like penny candy and you can actually like eat the penny candy. And no matter when I went, I actually just went this last weekend, and even then it was just magical. And there's always something new to discover at O'Keefe Ranch, and the magic there, you really feel like you've gone back in time. They change it per season as well. They do a fantastic, I haven't done their Mother's Day events, but I've done their Christmas, the Victorian Christmas event. And it was like discovering Christmas again. I went there as a teenager, and it was absolutely eye-opening to how much the world has changed, and you feel like you've gone back in time, and it's always left an impact on me of how much the world has changed and how my generation grew up so differently from the generation 100 years ago. Like it's just insane to go there. Like I can't put words to properly describe how magical it is.
Yeah, and it's interesting because when I was putting together the script, because I was going to mix it up a bit, because I saw a lot of you were watching the last show. I didn't want to make it that easy on you. I had a hard time deciding between when I was thinking of my own and Colin's experiences through our adventure career. It was hard to pinpoint one that changed everything, and then one that you'd say this is the bucket list one. So I said, yeah, I'm going to put, because you guys have that sort of history too. So it's a tough question when you really look at it and you really say, okay, out of everything you've done, what's the one? And one day we'll have to share you ours, but this show's not about us. It's about you guys. So for the everyday adventure traveler, now we're going to go to the other part, which I sort of gave away, is what if you were to say and met somebody who is similar to your likes, what bucket list destination would you suggest them to go? Why don't we start? Let's say, Samantha, why don't you give it a shot? Start us off.
It's really funny because I found this one really easy because as soon as I read it, I knew what I was going to say. And that is the Myra Canyon Adventure Park. I just did my write-up about it actually as well on the website. But any adventure park, really. I love adventure parks. I love just that seeking, that adrenaline. But the Myra Canyon was one like nothing else I've ever done. First off, there's 7 different like aerial paths that you can do, and you can like pay for I think 3 and then all 7. I got to do all 7, and it was so much fun, and it was 2 hours of climbing in the rooftops. And I think the scariest, and I always laugh because number 7 is supposed to be the scariest and the hardest. But I did not find that. I found number 7 hard, but not the hardest. I found the hardest was number, I believe, 5. Because number 5, and I tell everyone you need to do number 5, you literally go over the side of the canyon. If you've ever been to Myra Canyon, you know it's this huge canyon. And they have you set up on a tree that has a platform. And you literally, if you look down, you can see like probably a good 1,000 feet down. It is terrifying. And right on that edge, they set up a zip line where you have to jump off of the tree, pretty much jump into the canyon and zip across. And I'm a pretty brave person with that stuff. I'm fine with heights. I'm decent with flying. I'm okay with getting high up. But that was one I actually had to stop. And I had my mom videotaping down below, and I was like, I can't look past these videotaping. And I had to like mentally prepare myself to jump off this platform over top of a canyon and then zip across. So it's just the adrenaline there. And I think the best part is that when you're done, all 7, including your price, is the zip lines that you go through the forest. And you can do those zip lines as much as you want. And it's a continuous zip line. So they teach you how to do it all. And the other thing I was really impressed with is, especially in the COVID era, a lot of people are afraid to do adventure parks right now because they have to touch your gear. And, you know, people are just afraid of that type of stuff, which I understand. But they actually didn't touch anything I was wearing. They taught me how to put it on, even though I don't remember what it was called, but the thing that like harnesses you in, they just explain how to put it on. They will like show you with their own, and then you do it, and they like, you're like, oh, now pull on it. But they didn't touch anything. So it was very sanitary and very COVID friendly. So I was that to me, just go ziplining, have an adventure. It is unbelievable the feeling you get.
Excellent. And that's in Kelowna, British Columbia for all you viewers, right? Right, Samantha?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it is.
And it's called Myra Canyon Zipline. Okay, let's go, Andrea. Let's give us a bucket list item out of all your adventures.
That's a tough one because again, it would matter what province you're in. But I guess if I was going to go overall, I think getting up to the territories would be a big one. If you do it at the right time of year, when you cross the 60th parallel there's the big sign and tourist information center, and the lady there will give you a certificate to say that you have crossed over the 60th parallel. So that's pretty cool. You make it up to Hay River, the fishing, and then there's the waterfall highway that goes along there. Greg, I think you know exactly. Yeah, I would say that if anything, it's just a road trip. Bring a tent. There's, I think, hotels, motels in Hay River, so you can always do a little bit of glamping on the way too. But Northwest Territories waterfall route, I think for sure.
I think that's why we connected, because we're both Northern Canada addicts. I mean, me, and Colin. I mean, everyone says, "What are you talking about? Yukon waterfall, Fisherman's Highway above Whitehorse. What are you guys talking about? What? How come you're not picking, Tofino?" And we're, it's and Tofino attracts people as well, and they've got all their pluses. They got beautiful beaches. It's awesome. But man, oh man, I get so much satisfaction when it's me, maybe Junior, depending if we're getting along at that time, and a whole bunch of nature. Actually, we never fight. We've never had a fight, which is surprising.
You might have to then.
Yeah. Good one. Good one. Megan, how about you? Come on, give us a bucket list out of that big resume of yours. Let's hear your bucket list.
All right. So it would have to be one of the rivers in Alberta to paddle. And probably the one that would be the bucket list would be the Athabasca River, starting in Jasper and going down to Hinton. And the reason I picked that one is because we did it with some family friends, and they had little boys, and we would go along the river and we'd stop for the evening and we'd take out plaster of Paris and make casts of the wolf tracks, because we actually saw wolves along the way watching us as we were paddling by. And then you go by these historic sites, and then you're going across, the Athabasca, the open sand dunes area, and then just the hiking in the area and the exploring. And then we were camped on this one lake where we were playing kick the can one night at dusk, and it was getting darker and darker, and all of a sudden we could hear this splash, 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 and it's like we kind of gathered the kids a little closer and looked, and sure enough, there's this black bear running across this really shallow lake, and for us, I think that, or for me, that is definitely one of the bucket list adventures.
I'm liking it. I'm liking it. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm okay. I can't. You're speechless. There's so much. You know what? We've done Canada so much, and there's every time I talk to one of you guys, there's going, what the heck? We were like 20 kilometers from that, and we didn't make that trip to go check that out. So there's all these little spots, and it's so unbelievable. And then, like you said, Megan, you go to Athabasca River, and some people might talk about other adventures, but how many of us have had the pleasure, and I haven't definitely, but you have, is actually have a chance where you can canoe down that. And how long was that trip?
Well, we took, I think we had 6 days, but we had kids with us, and we like to travel really slow. So we travel slow and then adventure and explore as we get off the river for the evening. And we like to cook and bake bread and do all that fun stuff. So it takes time. So you have to have more time in your itinerary.
That's right. And did you wilderness camp, or did you go to service places?
No, it was all wilderness camping.
You go, girl.
Yeah,
I love it.
Always wilderness. That's the most fun. Yeah.
It is the best camping. It is the best camping.
You just have to have guys that can throw the rope over the tree high enough to haul up your gear away from the bears. That's all.
Yep.
Yeah.
So now you are Canadian Adventure Seekers. It's what stories and experiences are you looking forward to share on this show, and the travelers who are going to visit the ehCanadaTravel.com, and of course your social travel profiles, which I don't know if you viewers have had a chance, but check out some of these Adventure Seeker profiles, because they're lighting it up. I mean, there's videos, there's photos, there's stories. They're really starting to stack up these travel things. And if you don't know what the story is, these pages, these mini websites of our adventure seekers are basically their travel stories as they happen. It's pretty cool. And I'm often, when I'm doing my little thing to promote it, I'll go to one of your guys' pages and I'm stuck there for 10 minutes. So stop, it's like, holy mackerel. Now I'm watching this. It's great. So keep it up. So let's just start with a little bit of, before we let you go, I guess is probably what stories of would you, okay, I'm going to fit this one in. What are you guys planning? What is the future? What is the adventure down the road that you guys are sort of having your mindset ongoing in the next bit? What's the future adventure you're going to write about? Let's start with you, Megan.
One adventure, there's going to be a whole lot. They're going to be all about the Crow's Nest, Southern Alberta, exploring this new home of ours. Camping at St. Mary's Reservoir and paddling down the river probably is one of the first ones I want to tackle.
Excellent. And just your first answer was brilliant. A lot. I mean, that's good. I like that answer. You got me after that. A lot. Okay, I'm hooked. How about you, Samantha? Let's go with you. What do you got to say? What are you looking at talking about in the future?
Well, I'm going to continue my supporting local tourism videos weekly, and I'm very, very excited about this weekend. I am headed to Merritt thanks to ehCanada Experience Nicola Valley and Tourism Nicola Valley, and I'm going to be visiting a bunch of the tourism industry and tourism businesses where they are. So I'm very excited to do my videos there and see what Merritt has to offer. I will also be traveling, so I want to do a video about how airports have changed in the past year, especially the inclusivity of airports. I haven't been in an airport in 2 years now because of COVID. So next Wednesday, I actually get to travel to the US. So I'm very excited to vlog my experience of traveling because I have to, go across Canada to get down there. So I'm very excited to share my experience about going across Canada and seeing and letting people see what it's like right now to travel to another country from Canada, as I've been struggling finding information. So I'm sure other people are struggling finding information as well as doing my national tourism videos. So part of my duty as Miss Tourism World Canada is I have to put together 1 2-minute video showcasing Canada as a whole. I'll be focusing a lot on the inclusivity of Canada, as we are one of the most inclusive countries in the world. So I'm going to be focusing on that a lot in my video. But definitely look out for that, because there's going to be a lot of features of Merritt, of the Okanagan, of BC in that video. So I'm very excited for those. And that will also be shown actually at Miss Tourism World as well.
Yeah! Canada, you guys rock. We're going to get a little bit PR time in the UK. That's in the UK, right?
Yes. It's last time I heard it was in London, but because of the UK lockdowns.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, well, here's a shout out to the tourism industry. Get ready for the London wave. Here it comes. Everyone's going to learn about Canada, and they're all going to be coming. And I know a few Brits in my work, and you're all welcome. Great people. You guys come on, go do your thing and talk a lot, Amanda. Talk a lot out there about us in Canada and how we want everyone to come and visit and spend their hard-earned money here and grow our businesses and revitalize our industry. Yeah, man. So what do you think, Andrea? What do you got?
Well, my best friend's flying out next week, so we're going to go down to Waterton. But like Megan said, there'll definitely be a lot. I was sitting there on Monday evening, and we just on a whim decided to go camping for a couple of days. So I really never know what I'm going to get into, but keep an eye out.
Yeah, I like it. Hey, when you go down to Waterton, are you going to hook up with another adventure seeker down that way?
We were thinking the Crow's Nest Heritage Festival coming up on the long weekend to meet up and hang out.
Yes.
Wow. So what do you get when you get 2 adventure seekers at an event?
Double fun.
I met up with the other Vernon Adventure Seeker.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, guys, before we let you go, we're going to give you the virtual stage for yourself. You could talk a little bit about anything in particular that maybe we have not covered, anything you want to share with the audience, anything you'd like to say before we let you go and bring on the junior of the Brothers of Tourism, Mr. Colin Gerard. Andrew, why don't you start us off? Is there anything you'd like to close off the show with before we let you go?
Well, I just think this Adventure Seeker Club's really cool, and I think it's going to be able to bring a lot of new things to people's attention. I would also like to say, while you are out and about anywhere, try to clean up after yourselves. It doesn't hurt to even clean up after other people if you see that there's a mess out there. Just kind of helping out nature. And then otherwise, I just want to say, hi, Mom.
Excellent. And by the way, Andrea's written a great article that seems to be getting quite a bit of play. Is her article on trash, and I too, Andrea, when I'm out, I've noticed it when I've gone trails or mountain biking. I'm noticing it, so I think it's a good message to have. How about you, Megan?
I just want to say that I think this program is going to inspire not only those involved in it, but other people who are interested in becoming an adventure seeker or learning about new things that are out there to do and get inspired and motivated to get out on your own. Yeah. Excellent.
Yeah, there's so much to see, eh? I mean, every time we talk to each other, it's like, wow, I want to do that. Yeah. Like, well, all this just in the recent last 2 weeks, just talking with you all, it's Colin and I are going, man, oh man, it sounds like another 20-year trip this time to go across Canada with everything that we're learning. It's like
the list just gets bigger.
It doesn't it? It just gets huge. And that's a good thing. Yes. Samantha, how about you?
I'm just really excited to be a voice for the community that is currently struggling with tourism. I think with me being with the Adventure Seekers, I think I will shine light on situations that people haven't necessarily thought about, or different ways they can help individuals with disabilities that they haven't thought about. I also just want to say follow my page so you can stay tuned for everything Miss Tourism World, because with all, bearing COVID, I'll be going in November to represent Canada at Miss Tourism World. So I really want as many Canadians as they can to watch me, and I want to do Canada proud.
There's no wanting. You will. You'll do Canada real proud. We're already proud of you. So you've got Canada on supporting you, and I know right now you have us four and somebody in the green rooms yelling in my ear, cheering you on. You guys can't hear it, but I can't hear a thing you're saying with you know who.
So I get to look forward to it, Barrett.
Yeah, it'll be fun. You're gonna have a good time. Everyone's excited for you here. So ladies, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much. Please, we'll send you all the info. If you'd like, you could stick around in the green room. Colin and I will shut down the show, and if you are in the green room, we'll come and talk to you, and we'll finish off that way. But for now, we're going to stick you back in there. There's probably no screech left or lobster, but you know who to blame for that. So we'll let you in there, and you take care, ladies. Thank you very much for coming on the show.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
So it's me and Junior. Hey, Junior, how you doing? What'd you think, eh?
I believe somebody's been pointing fingers at the lobster.
Yeah, well, we all know how that works.
It was a great show. I was going to say, my name's Colin Gerard. I'm co-host of ehCanada Travel Talk Show, because I missed my intro. Gave her the code.
Yeah.
In case everybody forgot.
We gave. All right. Hey, are you feeling ignored with this new show format that we got?
I'm feeling very neglected.
Yeah. Well, I got to let the viewers know. I've offered Colin to do that big part. And what was your answer, Colin?
No.
So that means we don't get to hear any complaining about you. You're sitting back in our comfy lounge chairs that we've gone all out expect for our guests, surrounded by gourmet Canadian cuisine with a playlist that you could play, because we put every Canadian artist on the playlist. I mean, in that green room, you're living the life of luxury. Well, me and three guests are working hard.
Playlist? I was glued to the show.
Oh, okay.
It was a great show.
Yes.
Yes, I gotta say, Samantha, we're already kind of proud.
Excellent. Yes, we are. We're proud of every single person that's supporting Canada in every way, shape, or form, and we're very proud to have Samantha being our voice at the World Tourism or Miss Tourism World Canada. So thank you very much. Thank you to our guests, Adventure Seeker, Andrea Horning, who is a fishing enthusiast, four-seasoner, Megan Kopp, our Southern Alberta Explorer, and Miss Tourism World Canada, Samantha Sewell. Thank you all for coming on, spending an hour with you. Tomorrow, you'll find this interview in the Travel Talk community. If you haven't checked it out yet, you go to ehCanadaTravel.com. There's a specific section that we're growing like wild, people adding new features. It's all about these adventure seekers sharing real times. And you can also see with that is you'll find our experience ehCanadaTravel.com and our award-winning website. And soon after, this episode will be available on all our social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, LinkedIn, and Tumblr. Make sure if you follow anyone, you hook in and hook up to us and follow us. We're going to be telling quite a very cool adventure story in years to come. It's only going to get better. And a special thank you to you, our viewers, who come in every week, who check us out a week later, who look us up on Facebook to make sure they find the last episode. Thank you very much for those of you who share our show, who post on social media. Thank you for those tourism business who advertise with us, who make this all possible. We are the co-bro hosts of the ehTravel Talk Show, Greg and Colin Gerard, brothers of tourism, and he is the keeper of the code. He is the technical department, and he wants more screen time. Ain't gonna happen. Not. We got one more Adventure Seeker show, number 3, and we got a couple more people coming. If you want to stick me in the green room to lounge around and eat Canadian cuisine, and you do the show, I'm all for it.
I am just amazed at how well you do the show, bro. And
Yeah, listen to you now.
I'm humbled by the Adventure Seeker stories. I mean, it's like you say, it makes me want to get on the road again.
It was
I mean,
cool.
listening to Megan's stories about Mount Robson and Jasper. I mean, I lived there for 3 years, and I'm starting to think I saw Megan somewhere at maybe one of those park centers or something there.
Gotcha. Yeah.
But anyway, and Andrew's stories of the Northwest Territories. I mean, the Waterfall Highway. I mean,
yeah,
that might be our next road trip.
It might be. We were talking about that earlier. Hit that Waterfall Highway. Go up the fishing highway and capture all those lakes and do some fishing. But one of the things before we let you go, we want to make sure we all send a message to Canadians out there that it's very important that you book direct with Canadian tourism businesses, because every time you do, the Expedias, the Booking.coms are taking a 13% or more commission right off the top. This is revenues that used to stay within our communities, used to buy your baseball uniforms, used to put a new roof on your rink, used to get your sidewalks paved, used to put a skateboard park, used to create jobs and do renovations for our accommodations. And when you're booking with corporates, you got to think in the big picture here. And if you look at all these bookings that are going through these sites, when you book with them, you're actually buying billionaires, their new sports cars, or airplanes, summer cottages, and private islands. We have a tourism issue in this country. The tourism industry is taking a big beating, and we need to really think about where we're putting our booking dollars. You need to book direct with Canadian tourism websites or referring tourism websites like ehCanadaTravel.com, which is commission free. We link you up to those websites so you can book with them and let them save that commission. And the big thing is you're helping all of us put more food on the table for struggling tourism businesses in Canada. We're not going to hide it. We get stories where we have businesses that are closed now. They've sold their kayaks, their canoes, their ATVs. They sold all their inventory to pay their bills. This is an industry that brings in a lot of money into communities. And I think it's good that if you do have an opportunity to try and make sure you book direct. Okay, Junior, I'm going to ditch and you're going to take over and run this puppy and have a good one.
No way. Right on. Okay, please tune in next week. I mean, this show is awesome, but next week we also have another awesome show, the last of our Adventure Seeker Trilogy, episode 3 of 3. Our guests will be Adventure Seekers, Canadian travel storytellers, road tripping, Carrie Horning, mother of Andrea Horning we had today, girl around town, Janelle Coe, new Canadians, Loveline Goyal, and digital nomad Valika Mason Song. It's going to be an awesome show. Love to hear their stories. Stay tuned. Hey, Canada out.